Good morning, Get Wrecked for Recovery crew. So it's day 57 of the Redeeming Eden Cycle Tour, RECT, Get Wrecked for Recovery. Across America for addiction recovery awareness, that there are recovery options available if you're addicted. There's churches, there's Celebrate Recoveries, there's rescue missions. There are so many free places that don't charge anything, that just want to talk to you if you find yourself bound by addiction. The whole goal of this ride is to start another free rescue mission, a rehab. That's what we're pedaling toward together. I guess you could say I'm doing the legwork for recovery. Anyway, so yeah, beautiful night here at Twin Pines Campground last night. Loved it. Absolutely loved it. Peaceful, just nice. The campsites are down under these oak trees on this pond. They have a nice shower, nice restroom facility. The Wi-Fi is satellite, so it doesn't upload super quick. So yesterday's is not going to be uploaded right now, but that's okay. I will find some coverage or some Wi-Fi soon enough, I'm sure. I'm back out of the national park system, so America, you know, the civilized portion. Anyway, yeah, so I got my shower. As you can tell, my beard is all nice and wet. And got everything packed up. My whole campsite is completely empty. My bicycle's over by the restroom. And I'm about to get on the road. I'm trying to make it to Jeffrey City. I think it's like 48 miles from here. And I have got one huge hill to climb between here and there. So, not too excited about that, but it's always fun going down the other side. So, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get on the road and start pedaling this day out. I hate that Wyoming has just kind of become endless. It is just, you know, you go through these prairies after sagebrush buttes to just really not much of anything. So I kind of, like yesterday's video with Ariel, you know, I want to be where the people are. But I can't get to more people unless I go through where the people aren't. Which is what I'm about to do, and you'll see more of that right about now. All right, so I just had a flat. This is the third one on the trip. And this car that's pulling off was Reed and Nora. And they saw, you know, my makeshift bike rack and my whole little scenario going on here. And they pulled over, and he had a floor pump. So I pumped the bike right up. And then they filled my water bottle and gave me another water bottle. So yeah, I'm about to get back on the road. It's part of the journey. Alright, so I had to stop and take a break. Man, there's no water between where you turn left on 287 all the way up to Sweetwater Station, so make sure you have enough. I fortunately do, but it got hot on the back of the bike, so it's rough drinking hot water. But yeah, this is a big hill. Like, I don't know if you can see. I'll put it after this little video, but the road goes all the way up and over the hill down there. So I've been paralleling two other riders. I met two last night, Kit and Lisa. But back at Grand Prismatic Springs, as I was coming up from going to visit the springs, two cyclists were coming down to visit the springs. And their names were Chloe and Paula. And so, saw them again in Grant Village. Chloe was, getting done with her shower. I was getting in late that day. And then I saw them again yesterday in Lander. They had some unfortunate bike repair issues and were down for a couple days in Lander. And so as I came up the hill this morning, I had that flat and I could see two cyclists ahead of me. So I stopped and repaired the flat. And then passed them later, and it was Chloe and Paula. And so we chatted for just a second. I kept going. And then I got down to the bottom of a hill, and I met David Bauer. He wrote it all down for me. He rode the Trans-America Trail in 1976. If you remember my wisdom video, I was, pondering about what the first Trans-America Trail ride was like, and I got to find out. So he went from Reedsport, Oregon to Williamsburg, Virginia. It was 4,280 miles. And he did the math, and at 60 inches per crank on average on the pedals, he did 1.5 million rotations of his pedals. So pray, pedal, repeat. That would be 1.5 million prayers offered up. Oh, man. So, yeah, we had a really good conversation. But Chloe and Paula came passing by me there. And so then as I came up the hill, Paula was behind, and so I stopped and chatted with her. And she is a sociology major, and she's going to take the year off because of the whole COVID thing and distance learning. And so then I went on up the hill and ran into Chloe and spoke with her, and she's communications and media. She's got several different things going on, but she might want to study international law. And so she was supposed to go to France in the spring, but she's not sure how all that's going to turn out. So it looks like we're all going to be at Jeffrey City tonight. Me, Chloe, Paula, Kit, and Lisa. Kit and Lisa had 3 flats yesterday, all from the same thing I had a flat from, the wire in a tire tread. So they had to go back to the bicycle shop at 9 o'clock this morning to get their tires replaced and fixed. So yeah, it was just, it's been a really neat day with all of us kind of pairing up in the same area and doing the same ride together on today. But yeah, I can't stay in this heat long. Again, I'm 2:18 in the afternoon and I'm climbing the biggest hill that there is for my ride for the day. I do not plan it this way, I promise. Look, I'm doing everything I can to hit these hills at different times of day. But, it just works out a different way. And I'm glad it did, because if my flat earlier would have happened at any other time, I wouldn't have gotten water and a floor pump to be able to pump my bicycle up with. So I needed the water, so I needed to come up at this time of day. But yeah, like I said, I can see the hill over here. That's the next thing you'll see is a pan of that hill. Alright, so that was Sweetwater Station Junction. It's part of the old Oregon Trail. Oregon Trail came right through here. It actually goes past a place called Split Rock up here. And so when I stopped there to look out over the Beaver Rim, Chloe and Paula were there. And so I asked them if they had looked up Sweetwater, if there's a gas station or anything. They said there was a rest area where they were going to stop and eat lunch. So I got up ahead and stopped and started cooking my lunch, and we sat down and had lunch together. Really interesting women. So Chloe actually had her senior year in high school last year with the COVID thing. And so I got to talk to her about what that was like. And yeah, we had a really good conversation. They're also going to camp down here in Jeffrey City tonight. So yeah, Sweetwater. I was looking at that name and it just kept bringing back that verse in James where James says, you know, out of the same mouth proceed forth blessing and cursing. You know, a fountain cannot give forth sweet water and bitter water. And so he says that, you know, these things ought not be so. And so, yeah, that verse was definitely like heavy on my heart the whole time I was there. And it's neat going through all the towns that have biblical names on the journey. Anyway, I'm going uphill again, so it doesn't look too bad from here down into Jeffrey City. About 19 miles to go. So here goes nothing. It really amazes me at how much of nothing is in Wyoming. This is crazy. Right, so I stopped here at the Split Rock Bar and Cafe. It is the only thing in Jeffrey City at all. I asked if there was a grocery store or a gas station. They said, we're pretty much it. And so I sat down at the bar and I was like, all right, what do you guys have to eat? And he said, we're done cooking for the night. And so I was like, oh, you've got to be kidding me. I said, okay, well, I guess let me get, you know, a Coca-Cola. And I sat there, and a girl that was sitting at the bar about 2 seats down, her and a guy named Paul started talking to me. And so, you know, they were asking me where I was riding from, where I'm riding to, and all that kind of good stuff. The usual, you know, questions that people ask. He said, so Paul looked over at her and he was like, hey, you want to, you know, maybe make him something? And so she got up, out of the kindness of her heart, cooked me a jalapeno hamburger. So awesome. Thank you, Split Rock Cafe and Bar. Oh man, that just couldn't have been better timing for getting a refuel for my old body for this trip. So now I am headed on down to the church, the community church here in Jeffrey City, to put my tent up, to cut and edit these videos and get it ready. And yeah, I'm actually somewhere early at 6:30. I'm used to rolling into town at 8:30 and having to be up till midnight, so yeah, this is a good day. All right, next thing you'll see is the church. All right, well, that's it for the day. I'm here at Jeffrey City Community Church, and Paula and Chloe are both camping at the church tonight also. We're still hoping that I'm still hoping that Kit and his wife Lisa make it at some point tonight because they had bicycle work at 9 a.m. and they were planning on trying to make it, and that was a crazy 50-something mile ride. So yeah, I'm just hoping that they make it safely in before dark. There were plenty of bicycle lanes on this portion, so wide, like wide enough for a car. So that was really, really good. But yeah, exhausting day, dry day. Still had this kind of smoky, hazy thing going on all day long. I talked to the guy at the bar, and he said that on a clear day, you can see the Wind River Range, which is the mountain range that I came over at Togety, which is like 130 miles away. But he said you can see that range out on the horizon. So I wish that it was clear, but at the same time, I'm kind of glad that it wasn't, because it's kept the sun off in these kind of sections without any trees. So, but yeah, wonderful day of riding. Wasn't too bad at all. One big hill right there in the middle. But other than that, just a nice smooth ride in. So if you know anyone who has passed away from addiction, please drop their name in the comments or find me on Facebook, Adam Lineberry, Mobile, Alabama, and I would love to ride for your person for a day and celebrate their life with you. If you know anybody who's addicted, share this with them. Hey, look, I don't want to see anybody else die from addiction. And if we can save one more life, either through this channel or through the rehab that we're working on building together, then it's all worth it. If you know anybody who's in recovery, share this with them. Hey, we're all in it together. It's like I say, you know, it took a lot of people that are in recovery to help show me who Jesus was, and help develop a relationship with Jesus, help me develop a relationship with Jesus, and to live a more fulfilling, sober life. And don't forget that Redeeming Eden is a non-profit ministry through International Gospel Outreach. I'll leave a donation link in the description, and you can go there. You can donate one time, you can donate monthly. It's whatever the Lord puts on your heart. If He puts it on your heart just to pray, then just pray. But just know that all the funds that are above what I spend for this trip and any of the other tours to get to 48 states will go to building the Redeeming Eden Rehab. So I look forward to that. And yeah, thank you very much for subscribing and watching the videos. I had a shout out from a guy on my Facebook page, the Redeeming Eden page on Facebook. And I want to say his name was Mark. But he left me like an audio message, and it was like, you know, hey, I'm not a religious guy. And he said that probably 3 or 4 times. He said, but I love your videos. Keep it up. Keep up the pedaling. And so I thought that was really neat and super cool. So thank you so much, Mark. And yeah, from here in Jeffrey City, which has a population of maybe 50, the whole city is right there. That's it. So from here in Jeffrey City, oh man, it's been beautiful. I love you guys. Jesus loves you. I'll see you later. Have a good night.